Now, if I read silently, sometimes I have to read that same page twice because my brain will read the words, but I wasn't taking it in because then I started thinking about other stuff outside of the book. So then I started reading out loud to stay focused on what I was reading. So I'll do that so that I can pick it up.
Yeah, it's amazing that we've made it this far with everybody here at this table with an IEP.
Hey,
I admit I was slow.
it get it done.
That's what
I ain't slow.
No. I'm not saying you, but you
Short.
See how hard he went?
Yo, welcome to the cave with Mel, Troy, and Lex. The podcast where men can have a safe space. We on all platforms. You need to tune in, hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Welcome to Melody, the podcast where men can have a safe space. Welcome to Melody. Welcome to the cave with Mel, Troy, and Lex.
Hey, bro. When you get the hat? Because my hat got color in it. I also want a black and white one too.
Same time I got the last drinks I gave you.
Okay, so
I got them all at the same time.
We need to rectify
Mel
that.
got to be different. You know what I'm saying, and have his own collection.
Well, it wasn't about me having my own collection. What happened was I was trying to get 3 of each of these hats for all of us, but the amount of time it was going to take them to do it, they held me up. So then I was only able to get the ones that I got. So.
All right, so the next question.
But you notice he got one for him.
He did.
You know what I'm saying?
He
But
did.
you know.
They were only able to get these done.
Hey, again, all good.
Okay, raise your voice.
I mean, you
I'm right in
you
front
had
of
about a 7, my boy. I don't know why you had about a 7. I need you about a 3 right now.
He got irritated. He talked to us like he was one of his kids.
I was just saying that these were the only ones that they were able to get done.
I told you to get in the car. That's what you hit us with just now.
Right. Oh, man.
I talked to them niggas way worse.
Your kids?
Yeah.
Why you do the babies like that?
Absolutely.
So you pray with them in the morning, and then you cuss them out right
I
after?
don't cuss them
you
out right
gotta
after
be
prayer.
known.
But it depends on the time of
gotta
day
keep
and
them
what's
out.
going on.
Yeah,
It depends
sometimes
on
you
the
gotta
time
let
of
it
day
be
and what's
known.
going on, bro.
Like, I ain't trying to hear it.
Depending on the type of day and what's going on, bro.
Gotta keep
Like
Kids.
legit, this morning I'm driving the little one to school, going over her spelling words. That's our Friday thing, you know what I mean? Go over your spelling words. So the word was preschool. She spelled a word wrong. I was like, she wrote it out wrong. This is what she did. She spelled it verbally correctly, but she wrote it out wrong. She's like, no, I didn't. I did not write the C before. I did not write the H before the C. I said, I'm looking at it. Why are you yelling when I'm literally looking at what the you wrote? And you telling me and you talk about some let me see it. I'm telling you what I'm looking at it right now. So I don't know if it's just a trait with these kids or what. But it's like,
the kids.
I don't quite understand it.
Oh my God.
I told you, people always seem surprised, or maybe it's because most parents have evil things that and let me not say evil. They have things that they think about their kids that they know wouldn't be popular, but they're afraid to say it because of how they look.
Right.
And I just say it. And then they be so surprised that I'm willing to say it out loud, even though it's what they were thinking.
Right.
Like, kids get on your damn nerves. Everybody know that. Kids get on your
know
nerves.
this. We know this.
It's hard to be a parent. It is what it is. You take the good with the bad when you have kids,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And sometimes kids get on your damn nerves. So I set boundaries with my kids. After 9 o'clock,
Don't
don't talk to me. You're not allowed to talk to me. After 9 p.m.,
You shit on
you are
yourself.
not allowed to talk to me, bro. You cannot talk to me after 9 o'clock.
If you're hungry, work it out.
It better be an emergency. You better be an emergency, or you better be sick. If you sick or an emergency, that's fine. I gotta clock in as a parent. If it's anything extracurricular, keep it to yourself till tomorrow.
How do you explain this to a child?
I don't
though?
explain it. I
He
say,
just say don't talk
don't
to me
talk
after
to me
9.
after 9 o'clock.
Okay, so the next question is, how early did you teach them how to read a clock? That's what I need.
As soon as they can tell time,
Or you can just say don't talk to me.
Don't talk to me.
It's after the time to talk to me.
exactly.
Very simple.
I got to create boundaries with them.
You do.
I'm up at 5:30. Monday through Friday, I'm up at 5:30. I get the kids ready for the day. I take them to school. I do all this stuff with them. Then I spend all my day working, being in meetings. Then they come home. I got to do homework, practice, conversation. How was your day? This and that, whatever. If I don't turn everybody else off at a certain point of the day, I ain't gonna have no time for myself, my own thoughts, whatever.
The way Mel described that, he sound like a bad Hey, my boy a bad yo. Hey, you a boss.
Hey, come on, bro.
It came out of left field.
It did, bro. I did not know he was about to say.
I thought you was about to say he a good father. He a good daddy. That's what
I'm
black
not about to
dads
take that,
do.
yo.
That's not what you said.
It's fine, man. Look, as you can see, we back.
Hey,
Another edition of the Melly D's podcast. We ignorant already, man. It's your boy Melly Mel. You know, your favorite truth teller, aka if you don't want to know, don't ask me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna hit y'all with the rest of it. But we in here. It's too late.
It's too late. It's your boy T. Roy, aka your local hope dealer.
Oh, man.
I'm here to sell hope that to the fiends.
Oh my God! I'm here to sell hope to the full. Anybody that's buying hope. What's up? It's your boy Dr. Life Coach Lace, aka NBA old boy, aka Hugo. Call me the boss.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's go.
This nigga been writing out daggone.
I have no reason to write
slogan.
down. I have no reason.
He
to
been
write
practicing.
down.
He been rehearsing the slogan.
What the f*** I'm gonna practice?
Looking
this
in the mirror,
mirror.
too. He's like, Hugo the boss. No,
First of all,
I can't do it.
f*** you, and nobody does that.
He write it down in the journal, Troy. You know, Lace a journaling ass nigga.
Oh, do you journal for real?
Lace journal.
I have, yeah, I have.
I mean, I ain't trying to say it in a negative way.
No,
Ain't
no,
nothing
I'm
wrong
not.
with journaling.
No,
I'm just
no.
saying he would, if he was practicing, he'd write it down.
I'm intrigued because I feel like I should be journaling.
Yeah, you gotta write things down, man. You gotta write it down. Feelings, emotions, things that have happened, where you want to go, all of that.
How far back does your journal go?
I started probably my senior year in college.
Wow.
Yeah, probably senior year in college.
And you journal every day?
No. It's not every day. It's just at this point when I feel led to.
Yeah. I imagine the instances that you deal with that's like you're trying to process through your mind.
Mm-hmm.
So, but do you also like journal like highs? Like today was a good day.
Oh yeah, I do that too. You know what I mean? Like to accomplishments of the day, opportunities that I left on the table, things to do. Like that's how I kind of format it. Yeah.
Do you just write it to get it out, or do you go back and revisit it to see?
I generally, if I say for instance, I go back, I'll go back like the month before, not before, but after. So I'll write this month. Next month, I'll go back and look at what I wrote from this month, and then equate it to where I'm at or what I'm dealing with in that way.
See, I tried journaling, getting my thoughts and emotions out, and it didn't feel like me. Mm-hmm. Because I prefer to just talk out loud to myself or whatever. But I was not since senior year of college, a little bit earlier than that. I do write down stuff that I want to do though. Like I'll do that.
Yeah,
like I'll write out stuff I want to accomplish. I've always done that. And then I'll go back and look and see if I've done it. But journaling, it just never clicked for me. Like I tried.
Oh, I mean, I write how I talk. You know what I mean? Like I don't mince words or, you know what I mean, switch up like that. I write how I talk. Like this dumb motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like I write how I talk. Yeah. No, I don't change up in that way. So I literally write down exactly how I would normally express.
You could probably do audio.
Yeah, I have thought about that too.
Audio
Doing voice
journal.
notes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I ain't gonna call it a bad habit, but I think I get it from my dad because when I was a kid, I used to be riding in the car with him and I hear him talking, and I used to think that he was talking on the phone, but he was talking to himself. And then I jump in and say something. He like, I'm talking to myself. And then now I find myself doing that where I'm just talking to myself, like talking through my thoughts, but it's auditory. It's almost like I'm having a back and forth.
Yeah.
And then either Miles will do it sometimes. He'll be like, what'd you say? You say something? And I'm like, hey, I'm talking to myself. Like, or it frustrates me because Sharita knows that I do it, but she'll hear me talking to myself, and then she'll jump into my conversation.
She write down the data. This nigga thinking about.
she like use it. use it for information, or she'll take it as an opportunity to try to jump into the conversation that I'm having with myself.
Nigga, I heard you talking to yourself. I know what you're saying.
And then I get irritated because I'm like, I can't even talk to myself. Like, I'm trying to talk with me. I can't talk to me by myself. You got to jump into that too? Being nosy. Talking about being nosy, that joint frustrate me. I'm like, you can't even let me talk to myself without being included.
Yeah, that's good though. Why do you? I'm genuine. I got so many questions right now. I got so many questions. The talking to you, well, like, what motivated your dad to do it? What motivates you to do it? Like, you know.
I don't think it's a motivation as much as it is maybe craziness. I probably didn't sound right.
Chemically
I'm
unbalanced.
not laughing.
Unbalanced.
I don't know. I don't think there was ever a motivation that said, let me talk to myself, as much as it just happens, because I rehearse things in my head.
Yeah.
The day I rehearse, or conversations that I had with people. And when I'm rehashing in my head, it's almost like I'm reliving that exact moment. And then I may be saying out loud something I forgot to say, or wanted to say, or should have said, or something. It's almost like I'm practicing for next time.
Right.
It seems. But then also, this may sound a little bit different. Sometimes I read books out loud too, because I can't sit there in silence and read it in my head sometimes. Look.
You that kid that laughed.
I'ma
at the
tell
kids
you
in
why,
school. Lace,
Look.
you a bully, bro. You a bully.
No, it was the way.
It was the way I said it. I know why you laughing. It's the way I said it. But listen, the reason why I do that is two reasons. It's two reasons why I do that. I've realized that when I sit there and try to read the book in my head, like quietly, I can do it, but I don't retain the information as quickly as if I read it out loud. And if I read it out loud, I'll pick it up a lot faster. I found
Which is
myself.
funny. For me, it's reverse. I
real?
can't read out loud because I won't pick up on anything.
Nah, if I read silently, sometimes I'll have to read that same page twice because my brain will read the words, but I wasn't taking it in, because then I start thinking about other stuff outside of the book. So then I started reading out loud to stay focused on what I was reading. So I'll do that so that I can pick it up.
Yeah, it's amazing that, you know, we've made it this far with everybody here at this table with an IEP.
Hey,
I admit I was slow.
it get it done.
That's what
I ain't slow.
No. I'm not saying you, but
Short.
See how hard he went? What Martin do?
Hey, yo, I'm gonna fry your ass up before the end of this episode, Lace. Hey, I'm gonna get Lace ass before the end of this episode, bro. He gonna forget, and I'm gonna catch him slipping, bro.
No, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I was. Oh, my face hurts.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
I was too serious. Hey,
Listen,
Look.
I'm not saying that kids with IEPs are slow. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
Oh, hey,
yo. Y'all gotta do better, yo.
Hey, yo.
Y'all gotta do better.
Listen. Oh my gosh.
Hey, my boy, that was triggering.
He got defensive real quick, didn't he? And I didn't catch it. I was like, oh yeah, okay. All right, whatever. I'm talking about me.
Right. Oh my God.
But no, I faked it. I faked it till I made it in school back in the day. Like, the only reason why I wasn't gifted and talented is because my friends was in there. Not because I showed an aptitude for the studies. I was like, oh, my friends is over there? Oh, I'm finna be over there too. I faked it till and I got in there too. But going back to this whole journaling thing, we can talk about school and being slow a little bit later on because I'm really interested in knowing about that too. But journaling, you say you started it back in college. And the reason why I'm harping on this because I really feel like this is a good, healthy mental exercise.
Yeah.
That I think a lot of men could probably take advantage of. Because one, I don't feel as though we talk enough. And in the black community, black men won't go to the psychologist, counselor, whatever. Won't even go to a chiropractor to crack the back. But pause. So I'm interested. What motivated was it something inspired by your dad, a mentor?
No, so as many people know, my pops is a preacher, minister. So he writes down everything. So I had always seen him write down, sermons, start to finish. Even some of the other components stories and stuff like that he would put into his messages. He wrote all that stuff down, which is really from a psych class that I started to journal. It was a task that we had to do for an assignment, and it just kind of stuck because it made sense. Because again, it was structured in a way where you could talk about aspects of what you're dealing with, see things futuristically, what you would change, and it just became a process from there. So that's why I started doing it based on that particular class in college.
That's really good, man. I really need to get into journaling. I just can't take the time out to be like, oh, I'm gonna journal today.
Well, you could do it throughout. Like, it could be like you got downtime at work. Let me jot this down real quick. Or put a note in your phone, and then you go back and write it out later. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I generally do. Like, I keep, all kind of notes and stuff like that, or things that are inspiring or whatever, and build upon that.
And has it benefited you?
Oh, yeah. I would definitely say so. It helps you
And how so?
process differently because you can actually get something out. You're not harboring, whether it's feelings, thoughts, emotions, and then I'm not gonna yell at you like Mel just did. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I ain't slow.
I could write down, I'm not slow. That way I'm not yelling it audibly. So that's
That's what you get, yo.
But that kind of that actually helps in how you engage. Like, say for instance, if I got an issue with a colleague or something like that, I would jot down what that looks like, and it would shift how I address them in a open meeting or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? So all of that kind of thing.
I think that'd be really good. Don't look at me. I'm trying to encourage men.
I get you. Sometimes you just gotta talk to yourself out loud.
Got to.
That's true.
Journaling. I'm not knocking journaling. It just didn't feel like me. I just jumped out the window on journaling because people that I look up to or admire was like, oh, they journal, they do whatever. So then I was like, all right, maybe I need to be journaling or something like that. And it just, it didn't work for me. But talking out loud to me is journaling. It's like it's just auditory.
Yeah. So. And I think it's really healthy. Once again, some of the thoughts that we harbor, the word that you said, harbor. We harbor, meaning we are stationary on one thing.
Yeah.
And it's hard for us to move on because we haven't actually put it somewhere where it can actually just be and stay. Case in point, I had a conversation with a coworker about last week. And the conversation didn't go the way that I wanted it to go. And so afterwards, I just kept thinking about it and had a conversation with my wife. I actually repeated everything that we said in the conversation. And I said, I should probably write this down. I said at least 3 times in the conversation. She was like, you should. I was like, I'm not going to write it down. The next day, still in my mind. The moment I took about maybe 30 minutes to an hour to write down how I felt. I have to go back to read it in order to remember what I actually was, what actually took place. Because had I not written it down, it would have that whole moment that I had with my coworker would have become a snowball effect, and it would have been more venomous and more villainized than what it actually really was. Yeah. But right now, I am. And until we talked about this right now, talk about journaling, I hadn't thought about it since I wrote it down. I hadn't thought about it at all. Maybe every once in a while I come up, but it's just like, whatever. But I've dealt with it, and I actually have a place where I dealt with it. I can go back and visit if I want to, but I don't have to.
Right. Not in the cloud anymore.
Not in the cloud.
Not in the cloud.
Lace, 3 for 3 today.
Hey.
3 for 3.
That's what we do.
3 for 3, not in the cloud.
Simple
Your brain
nuggets.
is a cloud.
Simple nuggets.
Simple nuggets.
So I think maybe my perspective on journaling is probably why it didn't like catch on with me, because I get writing things down in terms of vision because I have a lot of vision. And it's always been something that's been explained to me, like as a man, you should have vision. Like you should know where you're going, know where you're taking
Yeah.
people, whatever. So from the vision standpoint, it's easy for me to write that down. If I have a vision, I write that down. I go visit it. That's easy. I think the struggle for me with journaling, for the most part, is other people are using it as a way of getting their feelings out of their system, getting their thoughts about a situation out of their system. And I'm not someone who struggles with that because I usually wear my thoughts and my emotions on my sleeve. So it's easier for me to articulate my feelings and issues. So I can quickly get it out, and then I don't think about it no more. Whereas you wrote it down. Like me, once I let that fly out of my mouth, whatever it is, whether you like it or not, I don't think about it no more. Because I'm like, all right, I'm free. I got that out. So then I don't feel a need to journal.
Right, but
I
it's
think
just
that
a
was my
different
struggle.
avenue
Yeah,
to
so it
get
was
it
just
out.
like,
You know what I
so
mean?
I
Where-
think that's why it didn't catch on for me, because it felt more like an expression of feeling, and I didn't feel like I was struggling with that. So, but it was just easier for me to be like, I want to accomplish this over the next 3 months. This how I'm gonna do that, whatever. That was a lot easier to me. So it just didn't stick with me like I thought.
That's another part. So the journaling for the sake of getting stuff out the cloud, and then the purpose for vision. That's also something I need to get into. The reason why I've written down vision before, right? You know what I'm saying? But some of the visions that I have, I'm scared of them, and not scared in a sense that they are scary, but scared that I have a fear of failure. And y'all help me. I think I might have heard some once before. Something like, you don't really have a fear of failure. You have a fear of success. Have y'all heard that before?
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm like, I don't know what happens if I actually get these things. So I let vision just go to the wayside, never writing it down. And so then each day, I have an overall purpose for my life, but each day I'm looking for a new purpose. And a man should not be looking for a new purpose every single day.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I really feel like we have a purpose we need to set. And then there's a difference between purpose and goals.
Oh, for sure.
So, goals add up to purpose, but goals aren't purpose.
Right.
And I think what I've minced the two into believing that goals are purpose, and so I've left some goals out there to either I haven't achieved them, or I did achieve them but didn't see how they add up to the big picture. And so here I am, not giving myself a pat on the back because I'm like, I'm still not at my purpose, not even realizing a goal that I just met got me up a new rung on this ladder of purpose. You know what I'm saying?
And purpose could be, it may not necessarily be tangible. That's the thing. Purpose is something that you live, you walk in, you breathe, you execute. Whereas a goal is what you're seeking to obtain or you're seeking to accomplish. So they're vastly different, but we do oftentimes mince them together. You know what I mean? Or some people just don't really understand their purpose, or they're trying to find their purpose, etc. So you know what I mean? It's a lot of different avenues as it pertains to that.
So what about? I mean, you kind of spoke to it already, but do you feel like you always looking for a new purpose because you're ignoring the visions that you have?
Yes.
Why are you running? What you running from?
I think I have a fear of success.
But why are you fearful of success? Isn't that the goal? Isn't that the name of the game, to be successful in all that you do?
You know, it's very. I've just recently was visiting that. How come I don't want that? And I think it's because when you have goals, some goals you have to achieve, you have to get outside of your comfort zone in order to achieve them. You have to push beyond yourself. And my whole thing is like, if it's not something that I'm comfortable with already doing, then I don't want to do it. When I was doing my first grad degree, I was meeting with my grad director of the that I was a GA of. You know, that they was paying for my degree, and I met with her, and she was like, "You know what, Troy, Mrs. Strawbridge, I'm going to go ahead and give you your props for this, even though you made me mad." She said, "You know what, Troy, your whole life, you've just been able to get by off your charm. you never really had to put in work. You could just do the bare minimum. People was like, I'm glad Troy's here. But now that you faced with something that's going to make you go beyond your comfort zone, beyond yourself, you can't rise to the occasion. You can't rely on your charm. And I'm like, yo, first of all, I smack the taste out you.
Who you think you talking to?
Who you think you're talking to? But at the same time, it was a gem that I needed to hear.
Right.
It was a gem that I needed to hear. And I'm just realizing in order to achieve this next level, I'm gonna have to get out of my comfort zone.
Yo, comfort ain't it, man. That's the thing. People feel like comfort is where you want to be, but comfort can stifle you. Comfort can keep you in a box. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you want it, only you can get it, man. And you gotta go outside of that realm of comfort to achieve that. Particularly in the way in spaces that we walk and operate in now, everything is ever changing. So.
Yeah.
The reason why I asked you that, Troy, is because I had a similar experience of being fearful of success. And man, time, we're going to get transparent real quick. We've been kind of funny all day, but I used to have a fear of success as well. And it's mainly because I'm a person who doesn't like change. Y'all hear me all the time. I fight to the death to stay me. I don't want to change my routine. I get consistent with stuff, and I just don't, you know what I'm saying, like change, whatever. And to me, success represented change, and change in a way that I may not be ready for, because you hear all these stories of successful people who like, I got bigger, my money grew, my situation changed, then I started having less friends, or family departed from me, or relationships left me, and this and that or whatever. And, you know, being someone who didn't grow up with their family, my friends become my family. So my friends are the family that I chose or whatever. So then the thought of potentially being successful and then maybe outgrowing my friend group or my family, to me was scary. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I want to, you know, move in that direction or whatever. And then I can't remember who said it to me, and if I knew who said it to me, I would give them credit for it. But I was having a similar conversation like the one I'm having right now, and they basically were telling me that I don't know how many other people that are connected to me's blessing is in me being obedient to my vision and moving in the direction of success. So then it just made me start to think about what I could be robbing my kids from, my wife from, or my family or friends who may be connected to me that might receive a blessing later on by me going up, and then maybe they get an opportunity to do something as well. So that kind of got me out of the fear of it. I still struggle with it a little bit, but I pushed, you know, through it. But I had that initial fear of like, I don't, you know, like I want success, but I don't want to lose everything, just to get it, you know. So I just remember being afraid of that, and I pushed through it. I've grown up until now. I haven't would say lost friends or relationships or things like that. I've been able to go up and be successful and be able to reach out, bless, and pull other people up. But that definitely, I felt where you was coming from. That's why I asked, because I also had that same.
In the words of the songstress Alana Morissette, what is it? Elena Morissette, who sung that song? Elena Morissette.
The white girl?
Isn't it ironic? Isn't it ironic?
Isn't it ironic?
Part of Mel's fear was disposing of folks that he was engaged and connected to through growth. Through growth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, hey. But no, I think too, I mean, I understand. So for me, it was more so not necessarily fear or whatever. It was more so people have always told me I was going to be successful. So it was almost like not living up to
the expectation.
So I've heard that, you know what I mean, since elementary school. Like, you go do great, you go do this, that, and the third, whatever. Of course, not knowing what that looked like and still navigating what success looks like for me. And but to Mel's point, people looking up to you and, oh, you doing this, you doing that. I see you, yada yada, fake love, real love, whatever the case may be. But living up to that, you know, personal standard, but also the standards that others just generally place on us and what we do. So it's always intriguing. But I relish in change and things shifting and all that. I love it. I love it.
I know for like okay, talking about elevating and stuff like that and trying stuff, getting out of the comfort zone. Like people can look at my life and say, "But Troy, you're doing all these things. Like you got a job and you're doing a podcast and stuff like." I'm like, dude, this podcast ain't really work. One, I get to hang out with my friends.
Right.
I get to hang out with my friends, talk trash to each other, which I really love. I get to work with technology, software, and stuff like that. Like, that's not getting out of my comfort zone. But like, what is beyond that, Troy? What is because I'll tell y'all this right now. I don't like playing golf. I don't like playing golf. One, I never played golf a lot coming up. Mm-hmm. And when I tried to play golf, I wasn't good at it. Mm-hmm. So so what I'm saying is, like, to push myself means I have to stretch myself in an area where I'm not good at, where I have to depend upon others to help me through, where I have to be patient with myself. And those are things that I don't want to do.
It's crazy.
It causes me to do extra. But I recognize if I'm not willing to do that, then I'm going to miss out on so much. True. Case in point, back at Easter's, Easter with an S, back at Easter's, I was telling my grandma, I was like, "Hey, I want to take you to see some places. You know, I want to take you to New York to see your family and stuff like that. And I want to take you to an island and stuff like that, or across the nation." And she was like, "Well, as long as you gassing up the car, I'm going." I was like, "Ma, some of these places you got to get on the plane. Mm-hmm. You can't just, well, if I got to get on the plane, it ain't going to happen." And in her limitation of those and being able to go that mode, that the mode of transportation, she's going to miss out on so much. And so for me, very similarly, unless I'm willing to try a different mode of transportation in my life,
come on, Troy,
then I'm going to miss out on some things I will not get a chance to be a part of.
That's good.
Or see.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the first time I got on, talking about in real life, first time I got on the plane was when I was 26. The first time that I went beyond Kentucky, I was 30, somewhere in my 30s, and we went out to Vegas. I'm like, yo, this is beautiful. I need to get up out of here more often. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I got
different mode of transportation.
Different mode of
transportation. Hey, if you want to level up,
if you want to level up, you got to try something new.
Different mode of transport.
Major keys.
Major keys. I like that.
Major keys. So now that you have this new information, I would say, what are you going to do after today to change your thought process or behavior as it relates to avoiding moving in the direction of success, for fear?
Yeah.
Is that you're going to take it some time to marinate on it and think about if you want to do it, or you like, forget it, I'm going to just go for it? Yeah.
Good question. I think the first thing is, the first step is to face fear head on. Face to face, get with him, be like, "Hey, bro, you can't keep me from where I'm going. And here are some places where I feel like I'm being led to go. Physical locations, places in life, and things that I would like to achieve. I gotta write them all down. So then after I write them all down, what are some steps to get? What is a first step to get to those places? And I'm gonna tell you what reason why you worry more about the first step. You actually hit on this a couple episodes ago. Instead of worrying about the big steps, let's take a small step first. Mm-hmm. What is a first small step that I can get there? And if I take one step in that direction, I'm closer to that thing than I was once before.
Absolutely.
I'm closer to that. So I think it is to face fear head on, and to actually not be afraid to write down visions and goals and stuff like that, and try to maybe organize it to see, okay, when I meet this goal, this adds up to this part, and this actually brings me up a little bit higher. And this is another thing too I can't be afraid of. I can't be afraid. Okay, write down the vision, make it plain. We know that, right? I have to be willing to share that vision with someone else. Now, not with everybody. Because if I share it with everybody, I run the risk of having too many people having a say into what I'm doing. But I do need someone to hold me accountable. I do need accountability. And so I think that's going to have to be one of those things that's like where I share that with someone to make sure that I'm on track. Yeah.
Say less. Do you ever, and this just hit me as we were talking about this conversation, do you find it interesting that people are often fearful of things that are potentially good for them, but fearless when it comes to engaging with stuff that is
It's
detrimental
crazy.
to us?
Unbalanced.
Like what? Give me an
Like
example.
we have fear of success. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't want to take the steps to grow or because we're worried about how the end will look. The biggest part of fear about success is we want to see the end before we start.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If we knew how
uh-huh.
the end, if we knew how it ended, or not how it ended, if we knew how it would end, it'd be so much easier for us to take that first step. But because there's so much unknown to it, there's so many variables, so many questions, we don't want to take the first step because it's unfamiliar. But this thing that I've been able to see other people do or be involved with that's technically detrimental, but not to the point where I'm going to die from it.
Yeah.
I ain't got no fear about that.
Right.
You know, it's not helping me. It's not benefiting me anyway. It's not moving me in the direction that I want to go. You would think that I would be more fearful of doing
Right.
something that's going to take me backwards
Uh-huh.
than getting involved with something that's going to push me,
But
to a
again,
better place.
sometimes pushing to the positive is so outside of the comfort zone that is more fearful than me going to do XYZ that I know is bad for me, but
Yes.
I know the outcome. Just like
Yes.
when we were younger, we would go to the club. I'm getting plastered tonight. I know I'm gonna wake up tomorrow with a fucking hangover, but I'm still doing it. You know what I'm saying? So we would rather do that knowing the outcome rather than this is something that will benefit me long term and that can propel me in a certain way because I'm fearful of what that may look like.
Yeah, most definitely. And we could be conditioned to accept failure.
Oh yeah.
That when we have success, we don't even know what to do with
You
it.
don't know how to celebrate it.
That's the reason why I'm pretty sure y'all might have saw articles before. People who play the lottery and they finally win, they either go broke or
Yeah.
they die shortly after getting all that money.
Well,
'Cause-
Lord, if you're listening, I need you to bless me. If you're listening, Lord, I got a couple things I need to get done. Fast, quick, and in a hurry. So,
what would you do? What would you do with your money?
I know what I would do with my money.
Honestly, I would go straight into the next business initiative.
real?
Like legit.
I know straight up.
Yeah, that's just what it is.
Depending on how much it is. Depending
Right,
on if
I
it's
know
the
exactly
mega
what I
or
would do.
you
Yeah,
know.
I know exactly what I would do. It would definitely be a business initiative, but handle some things personally, and go on to the next thing. I wouldn't go away or lose sight of what my purpose is. I would just feed more into that. Feed more into that.
If I ever won the lottery, if it was like the mega or something like that,
Yeah.
the first thing I'm doing is taking a year off from life. Not like
Oh, yeah,
like
I feel
I'm
that, yeah.
taking just a year, like to breathe, relax, not be worried about fulfilling somebody else's expectations.
Right.
Doing whatever. Like I'll do my own thing, but I'm definitely taking that year off just to breathe, and then I'll use my money for the next business adventure,
Yeah.
whatever vision I have. Blessing other people and stuff like that. Like I already know what I would do with it.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously I'm a ball. There's gonna be some stuff that I'm gonna be reckless.
If you're
you know what I'm
listening,
saying,
Lord.
with, but
Actually, I don't know what I would do for my millions. Relaxation is definitely one of the things, but my fear is that I become so comfortable with relaxation that I don't have any, that I would lose focus. And
Well, you can afford the pill that you would have to pop to stay focused.
what you
You
talking
you
about?
mean you mean like you feel like you get so relaxed that you would just lose
He just
like
wouldn't
all
care.
complete interest in life
I
and
wouldn't
everything
care.
else.
I probably gain weight. What's the purpose of looking good when I got the
I'm
money?
rich.
I'm rich. I just walk up in here. Y'all see me shining. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see me shining. You see it. What I need to be in shape for? But I mean, like, yeah. I don't know, and I'm kind of fearful of that because one of my goals is to be wealthy, not just rich, but wealthy. And wealth comes with more than just having money, but it's more of a fullness of lifestyle that I would like to have too. But I know off rip, I'm giving the 10. The 10% go to the church. I'm gonna go ahead and do that, so I can go ahead and take care of Jesus real quick. And then after that, Give maybe pay off some bills for for some family members, maybe for myself, because that's one thing I'm also afraid of. I'm afraid of as soon as I get on like that, it's gonna be people coming out the woodworks.
So
Hey,
you would pay family members' bills?
I would pay a bill before I gave you money.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So if you got a mortgage payment, I got you. But I'm not finna give you 500 for the weekend. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm not finna do that. I think that's more responsible than to just give people straight up money. I know one of our friends would probably not agree with this, but you know what I'm saying? Like, even taking care of the homeless, I'm not finna give you money. I want to take care of your well-being.
Your
you know
situation.
Yeah, I'd rather help you for your situation. So I would do that. And then I wouldn't know what to do with the money. It'd be sitting there.
You'd find something to do with it.
Of course.
You'd find something to do with it.
Y'all wouldn't see me for at least good 6 months. I'm
Take
shouldn't.
time off.
I'm being in Dubai or something like that, or Fiji.
Yeah,
I'm
you
everywhere.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm going everywhere.
Singapore.
Everywhere they never care.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's what I do. That's what I'm gonna do. So speaking of success, moving like to the next stage or topic of that, a lot of that comes with, like you said, making the decision to take the first step to move forward, whatever. In y'all's experience or in life in general, how have you been able to navigate feeling like you've made the wrong decision? Like you moving in the area of success, you feel like you're taking steps, taking actions, or maybe you were fearful or nervous to do something, and for all the reasons why you're nervous, then you step out, take a step, and then it don't go your way, or something falls apart, and then you kind of feel like this is confirmation to the fact that I shouldn't have been doing this to begin with. You know, like even though you might still be moving in the right direction, you know, and maybe it wasn't a bad decision, but you feel like it was a bad decision. Or maybe you tried to circumvent the process and take a shortcut to where you want to go, and you made a bad decision. Now you're in a situation.
Yeah.
You know, how do you feel, or how do you navigate that type of situation? Because, you know, a lot of things that we deal with as men has to do with our decision making, the decisions and the choices that we make on a day to day. You know, with who we interact with, what direction we want to go, like how we handle those type of situations. And I can remember times personally where I've made bad decisions, and in the moment it felt like a good decision, but then later it impacted me negatively so much that I was demoralized by what I was dealing with, and it made me not even want to press on, you know, because I was wallowing in the bad decision, or I kept beating myself up.
Yeah.
You know, like what if I had, or what, you know, like what could it have been, those type of things. So how have y'all dealt with or navigated those type of situations?
Yeah, I think for me the biggest thing is not wallowing in it. I mean, decision done. You know what I'm saying?
Decision is done.
You got to own it. You got to deal with the residue of it, and incorporate that in how you make your future decisions, moving from the situation, etc. But I mean, like I said, hindsight is always 20/20. But there's no need to kind of live and relish in that, because that really does nothing for the situation, and it can cloud your future judgment as well.
Right.
Because a lot of times, I mean, I've seen, you know, friends, family, associates, oh, I made this poor decision here, or I'm never going to do that again in this way. Well, it maybe if you just shifted a bit and had a different area of focus, you can still find success in it. You just can't do it the way that you did it before. So, but relishing in it, allowing it to hinder how you move and shake moving forward, that does not contribute to the solution, in my opinion.
Yeah, and so then I think a good way of saying that is, hopefully this can summarize it really well in just one sentence. Take your losses and make them a learning
for sure.
experience. And I've had a lot of losses. And I didn't learn from a lot of them.
Oh, you learned something. You learned something.
I learned in some instances how stubborn I am.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Something about yourself. You
Right.
know what I mean?
I've learned a few times of how stubborn I am and how quick I'll be to defend myself, not even taking the opportunity to analyze the decision that I make to say, was this a smart decision? Or was this something that I just wanted to do because I wanted to prove a point to somebody? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's, I think, looking at them like that, because condemnation is real, bro. self-condemnation is real, and it can cause depression. And I mean seriously, like so much to the point of where you are in chains because you can't move away from that instance in life. Back when I was in 6th grade, I was sitting at the lunch table, and right beside our lunch table is the punishment silent table, you know, where people are sitting at and stuff like that who got in trouble during the day, who can't sit with their class at lunch. And there was 2 kids sitting there, and my back is to them, but they trash talking me for some strange reason. I don't even know why. But they decided to, you know, talk trash about me. I calmly turned around and said the classic term that you say to anyone who is trash talking you back then, your mama. Okay. I classically said your mama in return, in which after I finished eating my lunch and I carried my little tray, one of them came up to me as I'm walking away and said, what'd you say about my mama? I said, what? And he proceeded to knock the glasses off of my face.
He snuck you.
He snuck me. Well, I mean, he looked me in the face as he punched me. And my glasses fell on the ground. And as you can imagine, I'm looking around like
Jinkies.
Hey, yo.
Now, turns out, I did not know this because I don't know this dude at the time. I know, you know, as time progressed, his mother had died and passed away and stuff like that. In the age of 6th grade, you know, that's really personal for you. But I let that moment hold me in a grip for years. And I'm talking about for years to the point of where I knew every day somebody was talking to me. Y'all see Troy got punched in the face? For 3 or 4 years. And niggas had forgot that ever happened. They had totally forgot, but I could not let that go. I forgot that. And I give that story to say that throughout the years, I have taken losses just like that, and I've let that hold me, and that's kept me from moving forward. Man, when I got fired for sleeping in the handicap. First of all, it wasn't handicap. Okay, it was the regular urinal in the basement floor. Okay,
Worse.
When I got caught,
Worse.
I got fired, and for years I was like, I'll never live up to this ever again. And even today, I chase the ghost of Troy being a good worker who never got fired from that instance. I still to this day, and I've had to learn. It's like, hey Troy, that was 20-year-old Troy. You know how stupid you were back when you was 20. Mm-hmm. Okay, you're a whole new man now. Go ahead and work towards in life, not letting that hold you back, even though that was a poor decision that you made back then.
Speaking of chains and bondage.
We're not gonna talk about Troy getting stole off on.
I was good. Look, I was trying to.
It just letting that ride. I was
trying to let it breathe, bro.
We just go overlook that.
I was trying to let it breathe. I was gonna ask some questions about it, but I didn't want us to take it too far away.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, you just go get stole off on and let that ride.
Stole off on. I was gonna ask him why he felt so embarrassed by the situation. Was it the fact that his glasses got knocked off, or he didn't react the way that he wanted to react to that situation, or or was it? So
that's a good question.
I was going to ask that, but I didn't want to go
my man. You know what I mean? Mother who passed away.
I don't take back your mama statement. Okay, I don't take that back, even though his mama had passed away, because that was just something that you said. You know what I'm saying? You don't mean your mama.
I mean your mama. I'm just saying. If I say your mama, I mean your mama.
That was
talking about.
But I do play it back because I'm like, why didn't I scrap with homie? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was in me that kept me?
Okay, there's more layers to this story now.
My boy got the bop bop after lunch.
No, it wasn't. It was not a bop bop. It was a bop
punch.
It was a bop. Not a bop bop. It was a bop.
When you first told the story, I thought that a scuffle ensued afterwards.
Right.
But so now I know why you held on to it for so long, because he snuck you and you didn't do nothing.
I didn't do nothing.
He didn't sneak him. He said that he
did
saw
sneak him.
No,
and let me tell you,
he said he saw his fist coming to his face.
This is why I don't like telling stories.
That's what
this
he
is the
said.
reason why I don't like
Let me
telling
tell
y'all
you-
He
stories.
said he saw
Because
his
y'all-
fist coming to his
Let me
face.
y'all
tell you
pick
why
it
I say that
apart
he snuck him though.
when it's not supposed to be picked apart.
I say that he snuck him because instead of stealing off on him in class when he had 2 free hands, he waited till he was coming out the lunch line with a tray in his hand,
But he
where both
he
his
asked
hands
him,
were occupied.
But he asked him, "What you say?"
He waited till both his hands were occupied though.
T-Dot could have set the tray down.
Nah, he didn't give him time the way he telling the story.
No,
He
he
did not.
It's like he said, walked up to him and said, "What you say about mama?" and swung.
no,
like all in
no,
one
no,
swing.
no.
Real
That's
smooth.
not how I got
Now
it.
it was a weak punch because I still had my tray in my hand, so I didn't drop the tray. Just my glasses came off because of proximity.
So he
of
smacked
where
you.
where the hand lay.
So he didn't punch you; he smacked you.
I mean, the fist was closed.
This is getting worse by the more we talk about
I'm
it.
in 6th grade. Y'all taking me back to a time now of where I'm dealing with.
I
this.
know. I'm
You
just trying
taking
to.
me
I'm
back.
just trying to take it in.
Y'all,
I'm trying to.
y'all are taking me back. Y'all trying to take me back to a loss.
He tried to take you.
Y'all
back
taking
too
me
low.
back
I
to
was
a
trying to.
loss.
It was definitely
It's a
L.
loss.
It was definitely an L.
But I won't go harbor on it because it's just now you're adding more layers like an onion. Like you peeling back the
We
layers
peeling it
now.
back. We peeling it
And
I'm just trying to figure out how you got stole off on, your glasses get knocked off. And did you sit the tray down and pick your glasses up, or what did people do? Were they like, ooh? Were you like?
Oh, it was a lot of.
okay,
oohs.
it's 6th grade,
And
6th,
that-
7th,
it's
8th grade. Oh, yeah,
6th grade.
everybody.
So
and-
what you
and
do? You
that's-
just picked your glasses up and walked off. You just walked off in your bugle boys and kept it pushing. Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo.
Oh,
You just walked off.
I walked off, bruh. I walked
That's
off.
why you held on to it. For
That's
so
why
long.
you held on.
You held on
Yeah.
because you didn't respond the way that you felt like you should
But
have in
life,
that moment.
but life has a way of coming back around full
Oh, for
circle.
sure.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Because when we got to high school, he was the same type of tempered gentleman. And then we ended up, not we, but he ended up being in a hospital because he got shot. I don't know what the whole instance is and stuff like that. And then I look at that and I'm like, okay, let's not harbor that 6th grade instance right there because he got his time to shine, but I'm shining in life right now. You know what I'm saying? And as much as we laugh at all, we can revisit, we can answer those questions that y'all had, you know, about the whole instance and stuff like that. But I felt for homie because he had lost everything in life already.
Sure.
He lost his mom. You know what I'm saying? And so this was a moment in which he could have. And because of who I am, I let him have his moment. But I suffered from it though. I mean, I suffered from it because I didn't get my lick back. And it was only, for the record, it was only one bop. It wasn't a bop. It was a one bop. And he actually stood there waiting for me to respond, and I didn't give him this. I didn't give him that satisfaction.
Well, you couldn't see to give him the satisfaction. What you mean?
Hey yo, this is the Manly D's podcast.
Yo, Lace. See, man, that's why I wasn't gonna ask the questions. I was gonna let it breathe. We was gonna move on.
My bad.
I was
just
gonna
curious.
peel back
I was
the
curious.
onion.
I was curious. My bad.
You know what I'm
My
saying?
bad.
My homeboy.
I was just trying to get
My
to the
bad.
root of why you maybe held on to it for so long because you say you held on to it for a long time. So I was trying to see what was the reason because usually when we hold on to things in a loss like that or that type of situation, mostly it's because we feel like we didn't respond how we wanted to respond.
And that's exactly it.
in
Yeah.
that moment. Like I should have done more or I should have done something. Whether I lost the fight or not, I should have at least swung back or something like that. Like so that's why I was asking if shut up, Lace. I was just asking.
I didn't even
that's
say
why-
nothing.
But that's actually a good point because at that point in life by 6th grade, I hadn't had outside of a kindergarten tussle. You know what I'm saying? I hadn't actually had a. How old are you at 6th grade?
Probably like 11 or 12.
11, 12. I hadn't had a 11, 12-year-old fight. It's been straight up, you know, and I wasn't prepared. You know, if we were to test our strengths, it was done on the football field at that age. You know what I'm saying? I never had to test my strength outside of the football field. And it was a fear that I was going to fail And then not only did I get punched in the face, but then I got mopped up in front of everybody at the school. And but afterwards, you know, my friend, he pat me on my shoulder. He said, "Hey man, you did a good job. You did a good job." And I appreciate
Stop
you.
giving this nigga ammo.
And I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Stop giving Lace ammo, bro.
I ain't even said that, man. I'm just taking it all in.
I'm trying to get to the
So when
root.
you got bopped and walked off, I was just saying, did you go back to the classroom or like what? Did you walk to the principal's office?
Why?
Like,
Okay. I don't really know where these questions are leading to,
I'm just asking.
but I am going to answer them.
Uh-huh.
We went to the principal's office.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Okay, where Miss Symington was the principal at the time. Awesome black lady, and Black Girl Magic, and we talked through the situation, and I went back to class.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay,
So you didn't eat your lunch?
Lunch was done.
oh, that's what I'm saying.
So you got through all of lunch and everything?
No, it started at lunch. He got bopped when he was getting up to dump his
To go
tray.
dump
Oh,
my
okay.
tray.
See, the
That's
way that I
why-
thought I
yeah,
interpreted,
yeah.
you had just got the lunch out the line and you
Nah.
was walking to
No,
the
no,
table
no,
and he
no, no,
walked
no.
up on you and
I still
stole
ha-
off on you.
Okay. Hey, you ain't got to say that. No, you just say
My
that the situation happened.
Okay, my fault. I thought
Say
that
the
that
situation.
So that's why I asked did he go to the principal because he got stole off on. And what you do with your tray? Did you just like?
I know, yeah, that's what I was. I'm not trying to make you relive this traumatic experience that you
My friend
that you had.
took
Troy.
my tray from me out my hand
Oh,
because I was putting my glasses on in the moment.
and then he was like,
It's
"You
all-
did
you
good."
did
Hey yo,
Oh,
that is funny to me.
but I got makeup story fights. So that's the reason why when I got to talking about losses, that's the reason why when I got to 9th grade and I ain't gonna say his name. I'll say his name for the sake of love. When broke my necklace, I went to town because he had to not only pay for breaking my necklace, but he had to pay for 6th grade instance of me getting punched in the face. So he got double whoopings.
Yeah. But that goes to show too, you shouldn't go, you know what I mean? You know how some cats they relish in opportunities to fight, stuff like that. You never know what somebody dealing with or they past trauma, how that might
That's true.
come out
Unload on
like
you.
legit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when we talking about men. Men have a terrible habit of that, similar to Troy. We go through experiences where we feel like we should have responded or reacted a certain way.
Right.
And then you carry that around with you for however many years, and then the opportunity presents itself.
Then
I
you
got
gotta
3,
show
4,
out.
Now I
Yeah,
got 3, 4,
right,
5
right.
situations. Now I got to up the score on you.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Now I'm doing stuff that I probably wouldn't do.
Right.
So because I lost the fist fight last time, I got to shoot you this time because
Yeah.
I ain't
Right.
about to be embarrassed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like we carry that stuff around with us. But I know that for I'll just say me. I won't say a lot of men, but I don't think I'm unique in that situation. I think the struggle for me a lot of times, the reason why I was carrying it around or living in that loss for so long is because I felt like it was impacting my present. Like always feeling like, damn, if I had made the right decision or if I had done this, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now, or I wouldn't be working as hard as I'm working right now to try to repair. So then it's kind of like you can't get away from it because you feel like the decision is affecting your present. So then you like frustrated about it. Like you feel like you in this, never ending cycle.
But that may be so though, because I mean we've all been in situations where if I would have done this then, I wouldn't be having to do this now. But at the end of the day, you still learn something from it. You know what I'm saying? You know what not to do as you move forward. You know what I'm saying? So I can see it both ways.
So what's the Mel?
I know motherfucker better not roll up on me with no foolishness, like not like that.
What's
But you
the-
did a good job.
What's the moral?
That's the moral of the story. Regardless of the outcome, you did a good job.
You did a good job.
You did a good job.
Because you made an attempt at something.
Yeah,
Okay.
you made it. You did a good job.
And you learned something.
You learned something from it.
Whether you got to win or you got to L.
You did a good job.
You did a good job.
A decision is better than no decision. at all.
Absolutely. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
yes.
a decision is better than no decision. I think, so that's when you did a good job comes into play.
Absolutely.
No matter what, you did a good job.
Yeah.
You did a good job, black man.
Yeah.
I hate both of y'all.
I'm just
I
telling
hate
you.
both of y'all.
I'm
I hate
I'm
both
just
of you.
telling you, you did a good job, bro.
Man, you did a good job, my guy.
Because I know when you do the slow blink and you try to hold your face and stuff like that, I know what's really going on behind the eyes.
What
did I
you mean?
Let me do us a favor. This is the Manly D's podcast.
Hey,
Well, until next time, we out.
we out.